There are some things you need to remember if you're going to be dealing with a driver trainer. And the first thing is that driver trainers come in all different shapes, sizes, and levels of experience. And there's the key. Different levels of experience in driver trainers. The bar isn't set too high. Different carriers will offer driver trainer position after 6 months experience. And these guys with 6 months experience half the time will take the job because they're offered a couple cents a mile more. There are some really good, nice people that do driver training for a living. And frankly, there are some people that are just disgusting slobs that do driver training. And finally, there are people that shouldn't be training anybody to do anything at all. So there are the levels you've got to work with. And also remember this, that no matter how good, bad, or ugly these people are, these driver trainers are, they may well hold the key in their hands to your success with that particular carrier. So, no matter how hard it might be, you have to try your best with these people because they may well hold your future there. Be polite, be patient, don't talk a lot, only to ask questions. Talk when you're only asking questions. Pay attention, listen to what they say, be involved with them. Try your very best to get along with these people. And most people you'll find that give them the benefit of the doubt, they'll turn out to be all right in the end. Now, I was always blessed with luck there. I never really had driver trainers. We didn't have that in my day. But I followed a couple old guys. And if you're lucky, you'll get someone that's got a canoe full of experience. They're patient, and they'll work with you and help you. I don't know if those people are in the majority or the minority these days when it comes to carriers and driver training. But hopefully, you'll get a good one. And some of these people have backed up more miles than half the rookies that have gone forward. You know, some of these people really know their way around. Hopefully you'll get one of these, but it's not always the case. But the thing to remember is give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, you're in their truck. You're in their space. Remember this. Respect that space. Don't abuse it. So just be patient with them and try to learn. You're there to learn. You're not there to have personal connections and conflicts and interactions with. You're just there to learn, so remember that. Now let's address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is boys and girls in trucks. If you're a female student, I wouldn't, under any circumstances, recommend over-the-road training with a male driver trainer. It's just not a good idea. There's no reason to have a mix like that. You don't know what can arise, frankly. Look at the case here with CR England recently. And that CR England's not the only carrier with that problem. Just avoid that. Tell the carrier you're just not comfortable with that situation. There's no reason they should put you in that situation, but avoid that situation like the plague, because God knows what it could lead to, and the carrier can't protect you here. You've got to protect yourself. Avoid the problem in the first place, and just don't accept over-the-road training with a male trainer if you're a girl. If it's just day cab training and you're back in the evening every evening and the thing's got no bunk, no problem. But not for over-the-road training. Grant the trainer their space. You're there to learn. You're not there to do anything else other than learn. Be patient with them. Give them the benefit of the doubt and just kind of roll with it. And remember that really your goal here is to end up with a job with the carrier. So as sad as it may be, that means pleasing the driver trainer, for better or for worse. And that's just the end of the deal. Now let me tell you a little story here in the driver training aspect that may help you appreciate what they go through, because it's important that you understand what they're going through. A lot of guys don't like people in their space, truck drivers particularly, because they tend to be solitary souls, and while they may need the money and may need to do this driver training, they're not necessarily very happy about it. They're just in it for the money. I believe I had mentioned in an earlier video that I did this driver assessment basically for this small carrier. So one day they saddled me with a new guy that wants to start here with the carrier that I'm with. They want to hire him. They want to know what kind of a deal he's going to be. So I set out on about a 700-mile trip with this guy just to kind of assess him and see what I think. And after, I'd say we probably got about 200 miles. And after 200 miles, this guy was the most obnoxious, know-it-all, smelly. I can't think of a good thing to say about him. Obnoxious guy I'd ever met in my life. So rather than do the 700-mile trip there and the 700-mile trip back to the terminal with this guy that was just a fool and couldn't really drive, but was just full of crap anyway, I dropped him off at, after 200 miles, I dropped him off at a bus terminal in a small town and just kept on going. So this is back in the day before cell phones and telecommunication and satellites and all this stuff in the trucks. So I was going to Castlegar, BC. I went into Castlegar, delivered my load, and came back to the terminal in Calgary. The dispatcher caught me going by the window as I handed in my paperwork, and he said, "Well, what did you think of this guy?" I said, "Oh, he's no good. He's a complete a-hole." And the dispatcher, Fast Eddie, said, well, where is he?" I said, I dropped him off, and I told him the town. I said, I dropped him off there on the way out. I couldn't stand him anymore. He was driving me nuts. And Eddie just goes, "My God, you can't do that." I said, "Well, I did it. I wasn't going to stand a 1,400-mile trip with this fool, so that's what I did. I kicked him out at the bus terminal." And the moral of the story, I guess, is that trainers have that kind of power to put you on the side of the road. It's not a situation you want to be in. This guy deserved it. And, it had to be a pretty rare occasion for me to do that to somebody because I'm a pretty affable guy. But at the end of the day, just keep quiet and focus on driving the truck. That's the best thing I can tell you. Never mind the crap. Focus on doing a good job and driving the truck, because the goal here, the end goal, is to get hired by this carrier. Stay safe, keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you on the back haul. And don't sweat the trainer.